You wash ashore, shackled. You are an escaped prisoner. How long were you a galley slave?
5 years.
What is your name?
Judah Ben-Hur.
This film for you, your grandpa did the Bible quite a long time ago, the same place where you shot in Rome.
Yeah.
What was it like coming full circle for you?
Amazing, yeah. Cinecittà in Rome is one of the most famous studios and a very special place for me because, you know, I was walking around the streets and it is quite nice. It gives you that warmth in your stomach to know that your grandfather had been there walking the same paths or maybe on the same sound stages doing the same things. And, you know, all the people who came before. And, you know, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better place to shoot than Rome. So, you know, history really sort of played a big part into this movie as well because it was an homage to a great period, a great time, with some amazing movies, and obviously my granddad.
Now the chariot part of this film, you know, so you grew up riding horses with one. You're doing it with four.
Yes.
That's quite a different thing. It's quite an adrenaline rush.
And riding horses doesn't prepare you for riding chariots. They're two very different things. Riding a horse isn't easy, and it's something that, you know, to do well is very hard. But a chariot with four horses at the end of your reins, that's a very special, scary, exhilarating, meditative sort of experience. It's something beautiful, but it's rather addictive. Once you get on them and you start doing it, it's very hard to get off.
So you guys are co-executive producing another film. Who wears the pants in this relationship? Or do you share a leg?
Roma.
She
A
wears
leg
the-
each.
I'm smart. I understand how to be a good husband.
Well, you know, one of the great blessings of getting to do what we love to do and tell stories that we're passionate about is to get to do them together as husband and wife. We have so much fun, and we always joke that the real miracle is that we're still speaking to each other.
and for how long have you been still speaking to each other?
Oh, the last 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Now you guys are doing a very important film at a very important time in history right now. And, you know, what do you think about the timing for this coming out?
Well, you know, the original book, Ben-Hur, was written in 1880, 15 years after the American Civil War, and the nation was torn apart. Right now, this movie's coming out in 2016. Again, not as bad, but it's pretty bad. The nation is torn apart. So this movie, yeah, it's a big, entertaining, blockbuster action movie, but the through-line message is one of reconciliation and it's one of forgiveness. So it's really for a time such as this.
And that's why it can be seen as a revenge film, but you know, Jesus' character and a number of the characters in this talk about forgiveness. The moment when Ben-Hur puts the rock down, there's a lot of moments like that where, you know, it would ring true today that it's kind of like put the guns down.
That's right. That's right.
No, I think so. And in our movie, the role of Jesus was really expanded. We really wanted you to be able to see the face of Jesus, to hear him speak, to see how profoundly he impacts the life of the people that he touches, and specifically with regards to this story, the life of Judah Ben-Hur, who really reaches a broken point. He's just a broken man by the time he finally encounters Jesus, and because of that encounter, he's healed and restored, and he knows that the only way forward is forgiveness. And it's a really beautiful moment in the film. The film has been very exciting, and we're, you know, thrilled that we've been able to get people enthusiastic with this great message.
And you've also said that this film has a lot of different messages, but if you're a faith-based person, it means a lot more to you if you're Christian.
I think so. I mean, I think Christians will just love this story, first and foremost because we get to see the Lord on the screen, you know, and it's not every summer you get to see Jesus on the big screen, and to, you know, part of our jobs was to make sure that if Jesus was going to be presented in this film, that the utmost respect and love would be taken. We love Jesus, so it was our profound privilege to be able to make sure that whatever ended up on the screen was appropriate, and we believe that it will touch lives all over the world.
So tell us how you got involved in this project. You're close friends with the executive producers on the project, and this means a lot to you to be doing this here in Chicago.
Well, we're thrilled to death that we're having the premiere here in Chicago. I had the privilege to be with Mark and Roma in Rome to go out and see the making of Ben-Hur. And so we're excited that Chicago is one of the cities of the different around the country and around the world where we were having premieres. And just to be able to bring this movie back to life since 1959 and to be able to share the story, I mean, I think it's exciting especially in the time where we live today, where we need a message of what you're going to see out of Ben-Hur, of the movie of Ben-Hur.
Now, this film is a reimagining. It's obviously different than what we did in 1959. So it's telling a story several years before. So how do you view that slice in history for what we're talking about here?
I think they connect each other. I think the message is meaning the same, but the way it is being delivered is different, right? Because we are preachers and we say the method is different, but the message is the same. How we bring the message to people, that those are methods, but the message should be the same. And you're going to see, because I saw the 1959 clip and I saw this one, and I'm thinking, okay, this has some continuity. It's a message that they kept it honest, they kept it the same, but how they brought it together is really epic. What you're about to see today.
And the scene in this film with Jesus at the cross, we've seen that scene a lot of different times before, but this one was done differently. And what he says, he talks about forgiveness. In this film, I thought it was very powerful scene where he forgives his sinners, basically.
Well, you'll see in the movie where Ben-Hur is at the cross. He's watching his friend, who early on in the movie is giving him water. And Jesus is on the cross, which we've all seen, of the forgiveness. It's one of the first things he says, Father, forgive them. And that begins to resonate with Ben. Imagine years of being in slavery and this bitterness and hatred in his life. I think one of the really coolest part of the movie is when Ben drops the rock. You'll see that, and those who are watching will see that part of it, because I believe the rock, in my opinion, represents his heart of what he's gone through. That's callous, it's just hateful towards his adopted brother. But when he hears Jesus and says, forgive them, that begins to resonate and he drops the rock. And we see the reconciliation that happens between the family. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, and to me that was also a moment where, at first I thought this would be kind of a revenge film, but the film is also, it's about redemption and forgiveness.
Yeah, the movie is about forgiveness, is about love, it's about reconciliation, right? And where we're experiencing in our global world today, where there's a lot of vengefulness and hatred and bitterness and racial conflict, this movie couldn't come out in a better time to send a message to the world to forgive one another. Let's find reconciliation, which is the message of the cross. Let's be reconciled, which I believe it's what God's message is about humanity and the Lord. And Jesus Christ came to do that. He came to reconcile humanity with his Father. And I think it's a timely movie. I think those who go out and see it, and I challenge all the viewers to go out and see it, get their friends and family. Doesn't have to be Christians. It's not like a church movie, but it's a message movie that I think is going to resonate.
No, we've done nothing wrong.
Rome's calling for blood. I have to give them something.
Where are you taking him?
Love on condition.